You could have a very short four horses. Really and truly, the best case scenario is that the Abomination of Desolation is this Ring of Fire on October 2nd, the Donnie Darko date, solar eclipse, and that he would go down at the Kentucky Derby. So you really only have May, June, July, August to kill 1 out of 4 people, which you can do with the technology. They can do that. And when you watch Leave the World Behind, you can start to see how things can get done and turn off their water, turn off their electricity, and things get plus just drop bombs. So turning up the electricity that connects to everybody that took the Pokey Poke. Because nanotechnology was in the Pokey Poke. Nanotechnology connects to those uh the gigantic metal apparatuses that are in every neighborhood, street corner. Uh, yes, where the electromagnetic field is powerful. Nanotechnology connects to that, and it was in the Pokey Poke, so the Jabzilla. So I always told Michael, I said, if Trump ever goes into Kentucky for a rally, look out. Just look out. Because in their scripted world, Florida's Devil's Advocate University, which is basically the Antichrist University, as Alabama's Ghost in the Machine University, and Georgia represents Mystery Babylon with their big G on their helmets. Ohio State, the Eye of the Buck Eye. Michigan, the big M, to be a Michigan man. Instead of the F word, it's the M word, the shorter word of the long F word of what a Mystery Babylonian is called. So Washington, Huskies, Washington, all about the God, Washington, the God president, Washington, the apotheosis, or whatever they call it, apotheosis. So Kentucky has been owning Florida, just beating Florida, beating Florida, beating Florida. So it's like they're assassinating Florida, assassinating. I'm like, if Trump, and then of course, somebody said in the comments, Mayday was a character's name in James Bond. Mayday. Well, in her movie, that was View to a Kill. And my Mayday friend was born 1985 and May 1st, 1985. And this was a 1985 Bond film. So if I had to guess, if I had to pick like the perfect predictive programming, he would go to the Kentucky Derby and somebody would pop him. Somebody would pop him at this year's 150th Kentucky Derby on May 4th. And they always say, May the 4th be with you, right? The full moon in April is 1948, which is the Israel year of dedication. And of course, that's the FAKE, Israel, which Revelation 11:8 says is now Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified. The new moon is at 2321 in Taurus in May. But May 4th, it is a Pisces moon until it goes into Aries at 4:41 p.m. Remember, Aries is the perfect for the head wound. And its main word is head, teeth, tongue, arteries. And we had talked about how when I was an astrologer, that when I was into the satanic astrology, that Aries, you were told Aries people always had like scars on their head. And because they're always head first bumping into stuff. Well, it's the perfect moon, isn't it, for him going down? And So if he dies at that Kentucky Derby on May 4th, he would rise on May 6th, the day my mom died, the day my dad killed himself because he missed my mom. Of course, they found him May 7th. I got way out of town for that. I knew it was coming. He was telling people about it. I got the police involved. Didn't matter. He laughed the police off when they did a quality check on him, and he was very upset with me, but he understood. The next day he was over it after he cussed me out. But the Lord put it in his heart to kill himself, or allowed Satan to go into his heart to kill himself, I should say. Holy Spirit doesn't do that. And sadly. And so they found him on May 7th, which is the new moon. My mom died on May 6th. And then Earl's death was May 8th. So it's a very interesting time. If he was to go down May 4th, be pronounced dead after midnight, May 5th, that would be like, yeah, because then my mom May 6th, my dad May 7th, Earl May 8th. It's a good little run there. But that May 4th Kentucky Derby, it goes into Aries right when the Kentucky Derby gets run, usually around 6 o'clock. The moon will be in Aries for about 2 or 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and start a playlist because of this May Day. My May Day Friends connection. How old will she be on May 4th? 14248-393-4683. So she will be murder code. 468 months, 3 days, 83 is murder code. 8 at the end of the months, 468 in the months, and then 3 days. Okay. So what does that have him basically, depending on when he's pronounced dead? Well, the new moon isn't till late May 7th anyway, so he would, yeah. He would be rising before that new moon anyway. So that full moon beforehand went full at 1948, which is the fake Israel year, which is where he declares himself to be God, the abomination of desolation in Israel. Yeah, that's pretty fascinating stuff there. So on the rising day, automatically she's got the 68 reversal of 86 in her month's date. Yeah. Yeah. May Day. So if we go to view to a kill, May Day. So that was her. It was Grace Jones. And this could be the Bond movie. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So let's go ahead and take a look at Grace Jones and the release of the movie and run it all to this date.
B. May 19th, 1948, in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Jamaica, to Marjorie Jones and Reverend Robert W.
James Bond has always been about Jamaica. James Bond is always referencing Jamaica. Ian Fleming created Bond in Jamaica. And of course, Grace Jones, May Day, Jamaican. And we're always getting the May 19th coded to us from the one YouTube site, May 19th. And that might be what it's all about. 1948 is the full moon she would be coming off of, like we've been telling you. That moon goes full in April. And you don't get a new moon until after he would rise. So that new moon begins at 1420, it is a new moon solar eclipse on April 8th. That's the new moon. The moon goes full at 1948, Israel's numbering. And then before you get the new moon, he would be down the following month, because you don't get the new moon until May 7th, and he would go down May 4th. Even if he dies May 5th, rises May 7th, the new moon isn't until late May 7th. He would rise at sunrise like Jesus did, spiritually would indwell. So he would, so it doesn't matter. He is all related to that solar eclipse of the X across America. That's the new moon that gives us the full moon with the 1948 numbers. And so let's start running Grace Jones's numbers. So it's May 19th, 1948. May 19th. We're going to run her to May the 4th be with you, May 4th. She's 9/11 months, 15 days. On the rising, she would be 9/11/17. That's perfect. So on May 6th, Grace Jones is 75 years, 11 months, 17 days for 11/17. 9/11 months, 17 days. So you have Grace Jones is telling you he's going down May 6th. When the moon is in Aries still. That's the day my mom died. Because if you go to the Kentucky Derby, now if you include both dates, you get everything you want. You get 9/11 fused with backwards upside down 9/11, 116, because it's 9/11 months, 16 days. And remember in the Back to the Future code, hang on and we'll bring it up. They gave you the Twin Pines Mall at 116, which is a backwards upside down 9/11. Lone Pine Mall at 134. 34 is murder in full reduction. So we will go back and we look at Grace Jones. They love to include both dates. And so there you have it. 761% of a common year, 7601.37%. 761 code is 404 plus 357. The verses in Revelation and Daniel, respectively. The sum is 761. That's coded. Yeah. So when you don't include both dates, when you go to the rising day of the 6th, you have 9/11 fused with 11/7, the rising, which 9/11 was all about the rising. So you have the 11/7 in the rising day in with Grace Jones numbers. What were the chances of that? That we would have that direct hit? Let's look at View to a Kill. View to a Kill movie film. So we're going to look at the Wikipedia and the IMDb. Let's go to the IMDb. Again, released 1985. My Mayday friend, born 1985. In the URL, it's 90264. Very good. And then we go to, so it's May 22nd, May 24th, June 13th. So we have a lot of different dates to look at. All right. Let's run them all. Let's go back to May 4th. So it's 1985. So it's May 22nd, 24th, June 13th. So the day before Trump's birthday, the eve. So Trump's 56, 66, 76, 86. It's the day before he turned 40 years old. You know 40, the biblical number. What a big deal all that is. This is crazy. All right, so let's just go my May Day friend. And we're going to go to May 22nd. We're going to run all of these to May 4th. May 22nd, 24th, June 13th. Got it. May 22nd, 38 years, 11 months, 12 days. If you include both dates, $38 years, 38 is murder code, 11 months, 13 days. So what do you have? You have 11-3 coded. You have 311, 11-3 code. Then it's the 24th. Let's don't include both dates. 38 years, 11 months, 10 days. Which is, by the way, you know what's really fascinating? Is the 14,225 in the days. No matter which date, 24th or the 22nd, you got the 1422. Not only my phone number, but that's Acts 14:22. We all through much tribulation enter the kingdom. But also 38 years, 11 months, 10 days, you have 110 coded. 110 is the height of the Twin Towers. 11 months, 10 days. 1110. 110 is coded, or 110 is coded. So that's a big deal. Then we're going to go to 613. $121 Antichrist. 38 years, 10 months, 21 days. The 10, drop the 0. It's 121. By the way, on the rising day of the 6th, it's 14207. Well, who is 207? That's 119 Donald plus 88 Trump. The simple gematrias. 207 is Donald Trump code. He is 14207. Or it is 14207. Well, the one for Donald Trump is the rising day from feud to a kill on the eve of his birthday. 466 in the month, 66 book is Book of Revelation. So we have a very high watch date, not associated with full moons, but it bounces off of eclipses and the full moon of the eclipse numerically. The 1948 Israel code. All right, folks. This will be the beginning of the Kentucky Derby May 4th playlist. Love you. Glad you're here. Thank you for the comments. Good comments. Did we finish the comments? Yeah, we got to everybody's comments. Good stuff. Andrew had a lot, and somebody else had one good one too. All right, love